So as part of automation, so we are going to cover PowerShell, JSON scripting and Terraform. So now let's start from the PowerShell. So basically what do you mean by the automation? Automation ante enti? So why do we need automation? Let's talk in a layman terms, in a simple words. What do you mean by automation?
Anything you can automate.
Yeah, which you can automate by writing the scripting or coding, which you can do the regular task on a daily basis to automate. So, మీరు automation లో మీరు regular what are the tasks you can automate on a daily basis?
Backups.
Okay, backups, testing, okay, ఇంకా backups, pushing the files into the particular folders or into the destinations, ఇంకా. So there are a hell lot of things. So which you are doing manually by using any coding or any scripting, we can automate them to avoid the manual effort. Okay. So now, so I hope everyone came from background called BTech or something or NCS such as. So everyone might aware of the C language, at least very basics. Okay. So what is the difference between programming language and scripting? Programming or scripting? Program के scripting की difference है. What is the difference between programming and the scripting? It's a very basic question. మీకు in BTech లో కానీ MCA లో కానీ any degree which related to the computers, the first class లో ఇదే చెప్తారు. Forget about scripting. I am talking about programming.
You can develop any software.
You can develop any software. No, that is fine. Even though you can using the scripting also nowadays, you can develop any kind of a software. That's a forget about thing. So what is the basic? How the programming works? That's
Programming is a group of files. The set of rules.
okay. How does it know the set of rules and how does it works? Java, C, C++. What are these languages? Yeah, programming languages. Yeah, C, C++. Okay. Once you write any code, see, once you write any code in Java, or C Sharp, or C++, .NET or .NET Core, Angular. So how does the machine understand it? Machine కి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది అది? So నీ ఇష్టం వచ్చిన లాంగ్వేజ్ నువ్వు రాసుకుంటూ పోతున్నావు. How does machine understand? Machine is nothing but whether it may be the system. How the system understand it?
It will tell the machine. It will tell the machine.
How machine understands your language? Binary code. That is fine. That is a very basic level and a ground level. So before that, converting into the zeros and ones as a machine language, what it does? How does it convert into the machine language? Machine language is the low level language. You are writing the script, you are writing the programming in a high level language. How does the machine understand your and convert it into the low level language? Exactly, compiler. Using the compilers. If you don't have the compiler, the machine cannot understand what you are writing. The machine cannot understand what you are writing. So you mean to say you are writing your programming in a high level language that converting into the low level language which is called as a machine language, which machine can easily understandable by using the compilers. The compilers, all the programming languages run on a compilers only. Okay, whereas coming to the scripting anti, okay, bash, PowerShell. Nowadays, most popular scripting language, Python. So using Python, it works as a programming and scripting both. So how the scripting will be work? How the Python high level language convert into the machine level language? Here we don't have compilers, we do have the interpreters. We don't have compilers. The interpreter is nothing but based on the input you will get the output. Based on your input, if you are giving the valid input, it will get the output file. So what is the command which you are validly giving to that machine, it understand and giving to the output. It's completely depends upon what you are giving, what type of input you are giving to the machine. Based on that, it will give the output. Okay. Now let's see in detail difference between programming and scripting. Now let's take any kind of example, irrespective of Java, C, C++, .NET Core, anything. So now I would like to print 2 plus 2 value. How do you write it? ఎలా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది హ్యాష్ ఇంక్లూడ్ ఇంకా గుర్తున్నాయి మర్చిపోయినారు అందరు ఓకే a equal to 8 comma b equal to 2. Now I want to print these two values, right? What? C equal to a plus b. Then what is this printf? So this hash include is the compiler. That is the compiler. Once we execute, once you compile it, మనము ఏ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ రాసినా కూడా ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తాం, కంపైల్ చేస్తాం వెదర్ యు ఆర్ రిటర్న్ రైట్ ఆర్ నాట్. అది ఏం చేస్తుంది, that you are converting your high level language into the low level language. Low level language is always a machine level language. It convert into the whether you are writing properly or not, then it will give the output, right? So printf ఏంటి, value of a plus b equal to c. ఇది compiler. Now in interpreter, so what is the interpreter? Based on your input you will get the output, right? How do you print the value of 8 plus 2? Very simple. That's it. That's it. You will get the output. If your input is valid, definitely you will get an output. How it works in the back end? So the interpreter is nothing but based on the commandlets and the functions predefinedly written in the back end. The commandlets and the functions which is predefined written in the back end. So it will understand your input and based on that it will give the output of it. You no need to write n number of lines or a bunch of the code to manage your code or to get your output. That is the main difference between compilers and interpreters. So in Python lo andike Python lo compilers undavu. You no need to compile it. So first మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు, డెవలప్మెంట్ అయింది అప్లికేషన్, డెవలప్మెంట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తారు, డెవలప్మెంట్ అయిన తర్వాత కంపైల్ అవుతుంది. So you have to know that whether what is that code which you have developed that is right or not. Directly testing కి ఎలా వెళ్తుంది, you have to compile it, then compile చేసిన తర్వాత test. So whereas writing in a Python there is no concept here. Why? Because it is not a compiler, it's a completely interpreter. అర్థమవుతుందా? So when you are working with any Java or .NET applications, what are the compilers we do use? In the DevOps terminology, compilers ఏం వాడతాం మనము, కోడ్ బిల్డ్ అవ్వడానికి కంపైల్ తర్వాత బిల్డ్ తర్వాత టెస్ట్. ఓకే, సో బిల్డ్ ముందర ఏమవుతుంది, కంపైల్ అవుతుంది. సో ఫర్ ద కంపైలేషన్ పర్పస్ ఫర్ ద జావా యూ కెన్ యూజ్ Maven or Gradle to build the code. Directly build అవ్వదు, you have to compile. After compiling it will be built. For the .NET you have to use MS build. For the Angular you have to use npm. అలా ఒక్కొక్క లాంగ్వేజ్ కి ఒక్కొక్క కంపైల్ చేయడానికి బిల్డ్ చేయడానికి there are different tools to automate. మాన్యువల్ గా చేయాలంటే మాన్యువల్ డేస్ వేరే ఉన్నాయి అంటే, సో దట్ ఈస్ ద లెగసీ డేస్. Nowadays everyone using DevOps only, using to automate your compilation and build purpose. So basically we do not talk about the compile. Why? Because it is a build process, it's a part of a build. Compile is a part of the build, your code. Getting it or not? So compilation is a part of the build process. That is the reason we do only talk about the build process, not a compilation. So without compilation there is no build. So for the build purpose we are using, for the .NET we are using MS build, for .NET or .NET Core. So what is the difference between .NET and .NET Core again? .NET is a platform independent. It only works in a Windows, whereas coming to the .NET Core, it's not in a platform independent. It will work in any platform, Linux, Windows, Mac, Sun Solar, any operating system. Okay, so what is the difference between Java and .NET again? So Java is almost has a very similar, but .NET is very fast compared to the Java. .NET is very fast. Ante let's assume that the application should be very fast with the very fast. The application chala fast work avalanukunte మీరు Java .NET రాసుకోవచ్చు. So whenever you want to do large applications with the stable environment, Java వెళ్తారు. So again that is అవి చాలా పెద్ద టాపిక్స్. As of now we no need all of those things. Okay, so for the compilation purpose there are multiple tools as part of the build. So ikkada when you use the Python ki compilation undadu. Why? Because it's a completely interpreter language. What are the script we have written, based on that input the commandlets will get and give you the output. Okay, so that is the basic difference between scripting and programming. Clear as of now? Very simple. Okay, ఇప్పుడు అందుకే ప్రతి ఒక్కరు దేని మీదనే డిపెండ్ అవుతున్నారు. వై? ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండింటికి డిఫరెన్స్ మీరే చెప్పండి, దీనికి exactly. It has to compile, it has to understand your code, the machine should understand your code and they have to give the output. It's very simple. Based on your input, it will give the output to you. There is no compilation. You can reduce the time drastically using the interpreter. So now coming to the Windows, we do use PowerShell. For the Linux, and we do use the Bash. So PowerShell has introduced in 2006 and the platform of Bash again. So Bash is from 1980s. Bash introduced in 1980s. So based on the Bash, the PowerShell has been created. So you put any one of the program language, either you are familiar with the Bash, whether you are familiar with the PowerShell, you can easily write any one of that. మీరు ఏదో ఒక దాంట్లో ప్రొఫెషన్ అయితే చాలు. Whether you are in a Bash, you can easily write the scripting in a PowerShell. Whether you are very good in a PowerShell, you can easily manage script writing in the Bash. మరి ఈ రెండిట్లో పర్ఫెక్ట్ అయిన పైథాన్ రాయాలి. దట్ ఈస్ అ డిఫరెంట్ థింగ్ అండి. Okay. So now, as part of our course, we do completely work on PowerShell. So PowerShell is nothing but, the interpreter is nothing but to automate your tasks on a daily basis, which you do. To automate your all the tasks. Okay. Now, before PowerShell, you may ask that PowerShell 2006 లో వచ్చింది అంటున్నారు. Earlier, what we have to do? What is the replacement of PowerShell? ఏముండేది? DOS. That is still we are using called command prompt. Still we are using the command prompt, but it is completely a command prompt. That's it. It's not a scripting language. It cannot execute. It cannot create a daily task. It cannot automate your daily tasks. So if you'd like to know that main difference is, very simple. It is a PowerShell is a task-based command line interface, whereas this command prompt is nothing but an interpreter of Windows operating system. That's it. But whereas coming to the this command prompt only works for a Windows, whereas coming to the PowerShell, it's not an platform independent. PowerShell is not a platform independent. You can use this PowerShell in Windows, Mac, Linux, in any platform. So PowerShell works based on the commandlet and the functions, which you can predefine by created by the Microsoft. Okay. Command prompt. It's mostly based on the strings which you give. Based on that, you will get the output. That's it. So basically, what I can say, so commands works based on the batch commands, whereas coming to the PowerShell, it can be process of the batch and PowerShell commandlets, both of them. Very simple. So that could be the reason nowadays no one is using command prompt. So even though for the simple task which you can do from the command prompt, we are using PowerShell. Okay. So now, so basically what we can say, PowerShell is a scripting language. Okay. PowerShell is introduced around 2006 with by default any Windows operating system. By default with any Windows operating system, whether it may be client or whether it may be server. PowerShell is available with the both. So just go and type for PowerShell. This is the defaultly available with the any operating system, any Windows from XP. From XP onwards, it is available. Now, anytime, whenever you are planning to work with the PowerShell, just go with the run as an administrator. Then only you will get the all the privileges. This is the PowerShell terminal. This is the PowerShell terminal. Okay, everyone able to see, right? So this is the PowerShell terminal. Now I would like to know that what is the version of the PowerShell I am using. So what is the version? So ఇక్కడ మనం ఏదైనా let's take an any application గాని ఏదైనా ex file గాని, how do you know that? Just go to the properties, just in the properties or about the particular product you will get that what is the version. So now whereas coming to the PowerShell alaga we have to give the command to understand that. So you have to tell to the system to get to know that what is the version of it. So what is the command? Dollar ps version table. Now that will give you the output that now I am using 5.1. That is the version of the PowerShell is 5.1. So now the latest version is 6.5 it seems. Now it is running it. Latest version of the PowerShell is 6.5. Okay, this is a PowerShell and nothing is a commandlet. That's it. You have to write your command. Based on that, you will get all the commands. Very simple. So now, so as I told earlier, based on your input, just you will get output. So whereas coming to the any other language, you have to write the compiler, and based on the compiler, you have to define the value. Based on that, define the value. Then you need to write the logic. After writing the logic, you have to print the value. This is the compiler process. Whereas coming to the interpreter, just you have to tell to the machine that what you need. Now I would like to know a plus 2. That's it. Very simple. That is the output. So how you are getting it? You are telling to the commandlet. My input is you are telling to the commandlet, that is I would like to addition a value. In the back end of this PowerShell, there is a commandlet called addition. Based on that, automatically it will take the input value and give it to the output value. Getting it or not? Okay. So this is to know the version of the PowerShell is 5.1. Okay. Now PowerShell is always what I can say. The data which you write, that is a noun alignment. Host is the host is a commandlet. See now how you are getting this output. Now let's get output host. What is the guest host? Now you would like to know that what is your host. Host is nothing but my laptop. You want to know that what is your host name, what is your machine name. So if you want to know your machine name, manual you have to go to the system properties. There you have to understand your my computer and all that. So whereas from the PowerShell, from the commandlet, just you are telling to the commandlet. So what is my host. So what is this host? Guest type on host is nothing but a commandlet which predefinedly written in the backend. Just you are calling it. So my host is this is my host information. So get host is nothing but what it is. It is a commandlet. So what are the predefined commandlets available? Get hyphen command. If you write it, get hyphen command is the commandlet. It will tell you that how many commands is written already in the backend. Easy. These are all the predefined commandlets. What you are doing for your automation purpose, you are calling this script. You are calling these commandlets. చూడండి రైట్ సైడ్ ఏం స్క్రోల్ అవుతుంది commandlet. So these are all the completely commandlets. See, ఇక్కడ మనం డైలీ బేసిస్ లో వాడేటివి అన్ని ఇక్కడ ఉంటాయి. మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు ఫర్ యువర్ work purpose to automate your task, you are just calling the already predefined commandlet. ఇప్పుడు నేను 8+2 అంటాను, అది ఏమవుతుంది, it will call in the commandlet in the back end of the addition commandlet already predefined గా రాసి పెట్టేసి ఉంటుంది. That will call and it will identify what is the values you are inputting. Based on that it will give you the output. That is the commandlet. Now, as I told earlier, so the PowerShell is completely so PowerShell is introduced from the Bash. So then how do you compare both of them? How do you compare both of them? Anyone know that what is the echo in Bash? Echo ante enti? Print. Right? So now let's compare. What is the echo? What do we call echo in a PowerShell? So how do you get that? Get hyphen alias. Alias is nothing but duplicate name. Alias is nothing but another name. So ఇప్పుడు మనం another name అంటే ఏంటి? So ఇప్పుడు another name అంటే it will automatically written predefined. It will give you that what is the duplicate names for the PowerShell. These are all the duplicate names for the PowerShell. So now we would like to check what is the మనం ఏం చెక్ చేయాలనుకున్నాం ఇప్పుడు echo, right? That is the reason I would say that if you are good with one scripting like PowerShell or any bash, you can easily manage with the other scripting. ఇప్పుడు నేను PowerShell bash లో echo అంటాను, whereas coming to the PowerShell write output. Write output is nothing but to print the value. To print the value. Now write output. What you want to print it? Now I would like to print a value of 7898. Just you got the output is 7898. What is this again? Write output. Commandlet. Again it is a commandlet. You are calling your commandlet from the back end to print the value. Again let's see. ఇవన్నీ ఇలానే ఉంటాయి. If you start any process, in దాంట్లో bash లో ఏమంటాము start అని. Whereas coming to the PowerShell, start hyphen process.
Bash to start.
Exactly. Bash లో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చే టైం bash. So you can create your own alias.
Python node ఇలా
Python is different. The process, it is a compiler, even though you know it is a completely bash or PowerShell is a commandlets, based on the commandlets. So whereas coming to the Python, it completely works on the functions. ఇక్కడ కూడా మనకు కొన్ని ఫంక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి. లెట్స్ సీ get ఫంక్షన్స్ అనొచ్చు. కమాండ్స్ లో కూడా మీకు కొన్ని ఫంక్షన్స్ వస్తాయి చూడండి. లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఫంక్షన్స్. So you can create your own alias or you can create your own commandlet. You can create your own function. That feasibility also is there. So it doesn't mean that if you are using the PowerShell, you have to only use the predefined commandlets or predefined functions which is given by the Microsoft. No, you can create your own commandlet or you can create your own function for your requirement, for the automation purpose. So now what you can do, just function. So function and చెప్పి రాసేసి, but on a daily basis if you want to take up your backup of your services, let's forget about it, which service it is, whether it may be Azure or whether it may be your on premises, whether it may be VMware environment, whatever it may be. So మీరు ఆన్ ప్రెమిసెస్ లో ఉన్న విండోస్ వీళ్ళు డైలీ బ్యాకప్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు. సో మాన్యువల్ గా ఏం చేస్తారు, బ్యాకప్ వెళ్ళి బ్యాకప్ చేయాలి. సో నౌ యూ వాంట్ టు ఆటోమేట్ ఇట్. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు, ఫంక్షన్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫంక్షన్ ఇట్లా చెప్పి మీరు స్క్రిప్టింగ్ రాసుకుంటూ వెళ్తారు వన్ బై వన్. సో అప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు, యూ నో నీడ్ టు డూ ఎనీథింగ్, just we can call this VMware-backup. That is your own commandlet which you have written for your purpose, internal purpose. అర్థమవుతుందా? Which you can writing your functions or commandlet for your internal purpose. ఇది మీకు మరి నెక్స్ట్ సిస్టమ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి అదర్ దాన్ యువర్, మీరు వేరే సిస్టమ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి మీరు ఇది VMware బ్యాకప్ అంటే రాదు. Why? Because this is only utilizing for your internal purpose of your what is called the manual functions under it. Manually you have written your own function for your internal purpose.
ఇది సేమ్ ఫంక్షన్ మనం సర్వర్ లో పుష్ చేస్తాం,
అంతే. దాన్ని షెడ్యూల్ చేస్తాం. షెడ్యూలర్ లో ఈ బ్యాకప్ ఈ ఫంక్షన్ తీసుకొని పక్కన పెడతాం. వాట్ ఎవర్ ద టైమ్ యువర్ షెడ్యూల్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ ఇట్ విల్ డైలీ రిపీట్. దట్స్ ఇట్. బట్ విచ్ కెనాట్ డూ ద కమాండ్, అంటే మీరు కమాండ్ ప్రాంప్ట్ నుంచి చేయలేరు దాన్ని. సో విచ్ ఓన్లీ పాసిబుల్ విత్ ద పవర్ షెల్. క్లియర్? సో నౌ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద పవర్ షెల్? PS1. PS1 is the extension. What is the extension? Windows extension ఏంటి? Excel కి extension ఏంటి? XLS. .txt text file. Windows ki DOCS. So that is the extension. Likewise, see where is it? Now PS1. ఏమొచ్చింది సింబల్? పవర్ షెల్. That is the default extension of the PowerShell. So once you run it, defaultly it will take you from the PowerShell. So that is the use of the extension. Okay. So where are the editors? In the last session we have talked about the editors. What are the editors for Linux? VAM is the editor. That is the default editor. Other than there are n number of editors is available. But whereas coming to the editors for Windows, Notepad, Text, Notepad++. These are all the editors for Windows. You can use the same editors for PowerShell. You can use the same editor for PowerShell. So now in the Windows, if you want to create any directory, so if you in Linux you want to create any directory, what is the command like? Mkdir. Here also same mkdir. Mkdir. Yes. It is created. Where it is created on Windows System 32.
Yeah, so PW.
PWD. Project working directory. చెప్తున్నారు the same. It is PowerShell came from the bash only. Same as it is. మీరు ఏదో ఒక దాంట్లో ప్రొఫెషనల్ అయితే చాలు. Okay. So now, if you want to go back to the previous directory, Linux లో ఏమంటాము? cd space dot. Here also. Okay. So if you want to list out all the list, Linux లో ఏమంటాము? ls, or if you want to the hidden files also ls-altr. ఇక్కడ dir. das again. అట్లా కొన్ని చేంజెస్ ఉంటాయి, వెరీ సింపుల్. ఓకే, see again what it shows, whether it's a directory or a file, what is the permissions you have for that particular file. You can list out all those things. Okay. Now let's talk about in detail about what is the options we do have with what kind of a functions, what kind of a loops it will support, one by one. So then the okay. So PowerShell is strictly helpful for administrators to automate the administration task on a daily basis, as we discussed earlier. So PowerShell has been introduced by Jeffrey Snower. He is a Microsoft MVP. He's since almost 25-30 years is working for the Microsoft. He introduced the PowerShell for to automate administrator tasks, purely administrator tasks. Okay. So whereas coming to the versions of the PowerShell, as of now, it is the latest version of the PowerShell is 6.3, 6.3 or 6.4. Okay, it's completely depends upon your operating system which you could use. మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఇదే 2019 ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ తీసుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, you will get latest version of the PowerShell by defaultly. So my laptop is Windows 10, which I have updated almost a year ago. That could be the reason. What is the version in my laptop? 5.0, which is a very old one. Almost a year ago I have updated my operating system. Else, if you want to download the latest version of PowerShell also, that can be also possible. So what I meant to say, by default with your operating system you will get a PowerShell. Okay, what is the differences, what is the variations you could see in the different versions of the PowerShell? So earlier See, released in November 2006. There is a 1.0 PowerShell version, which is firstly introduced with the PowerShell very basics. It only supports for Windows XP and Vista. Might be మీరు అప్పుడు ఇంకా ఇంటర్ డిగ్రీలో చదువుతుంటారు. XP, Vista, this operating system. Before Windows 7, it was the Vista. It is a failure model.
Windows 3
Windows 2003 అంటున్నారు.
Vista కన్నా ముందు ఇంకోటి
XP నే. Windows Vista కంటే పాపులర్ వర్షన్ XP.
Vista fail.
Vista భారీ ఫ్లాప్. సో మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ నిలబెట్టిన ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అంటే XP. అక్కడ నుంచే కదా మనకి నెట్వర్కింగ్ కూడా స్ట్రాంగ్ అయినది ఫ్రమ్ విండోస్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద XP ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్. ఓకే, so whereas coming to the version 2, it supports Windows 7 and 2008 up to server operating systems, which includes PowerShell remoting. You can take the other operating system from your remote versioning, and module support. What are the modules? If you would like to work with the Active Directory from the PowerShell, Active Directory is a separate module. If you would like to work with the Active Directory from the PowerShell, you would like to work with VMware environment with PowerShell, that is a modules which can support from version 2. Okay, so integrated ISE. What is this ISE? Integrated scripting environment. So here, if I say write something and say enter, what will be happen? It will take it as a command. Now I need to have these editors to write this scripting. Scripting and a combination of multiple commands. Once I say enter, what is has taken? It's taken as a command. So that could be the reason we must have one scripting environment. So by default with your operating system, ISE also available. If you go and look at that PowerShell ISE, this is the normal PowerShell terminal. This is the ISE, integrated scripting environment, which you can write your scripting by combining the multiple commands. Okay, so as of now it is a 6.0, which includes the various features. So in a version 5, what is this? Desired state configuration. Are you guys aware of Ansible, Chef, Puppet? Idea on the organ? So Ansible and Chef or Puppet is used for the configuration change management. Configuration change management is nothing but without affecting your server, you would like to change your configuration of it and pushing the multiple files by automating them. We can use these third-party tools. So apart using that, Microsoft introduced this desired state configuration using PowerShell. That is called as a PowerShell DSC. Very simple. So what is the base thing you need to have to deploy your application? Application deploy చేయాలంటే ఏముండాలి మీకు? IIS ఉండాలి. If you want to enable, by defaultly any operating system, IIS is not enabled. If you want to enable this IIS for the 100 VMs, ఎలా చేస్తారు? You can use Ansible or Chef or Puppet. So that is for open source. When you come to the Microsoft, you can use this PowerShell DSC. I mean to say, to change the operating system level configurations post deployment. Post deployment is nothing but after deploying your servers, if you want to change any configuration of them, you can use this PowerShell. Using the PowerShell DSC, you can do it. Okay, so introducing like this all the new commandlets one by one. Okay, coming to variables. What do you mean by the variable? Which can store data. Okay, Yes. Okay. Variables is the temporarily stored data in a particular value. So it's called a data, we can call as a values to store the values. So if you want to define any variables in PowerShell, you have to use dollar symbol. Which you have to use dollar symbol. The dollar symbol will give you the capability to store the value of your into the particular variable. Now, how it is? Dollar text. What is this dollar text now? It is a variable. Now I want to store some value. It will take it or not? అది తీసుకుంటుందా తీసుకోదా? ఎందుకు తీసుకోదు? మీరు చూడండి, నథింగ్ ఇస్ దేర్. మీకు ఇక్కడ కలరే చేంజ్ అయిపోతుంది. See, it does not understand the spaces. Now, very simple. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి. Now it will take it or not? Now it will take it. Why? Because you are telling that these entire two strings you are giving as a word to understand as a variable. Okay, that's it, right? So what is the variable now? I have one variable such as called a text, right? Okay. Now I want to print it. Print చేయాలంటే ఏం కావాలి? మీరు ఆల్రెడీ చూసారు. ఏంటది? To print anything from the PowerShell, what is the command line? So మీరు దాన్ని command let అనే పిలవాలి. ఎందుకంటే you are calling that particular command let to execute your task. What is that? Right? What is your output? A dollar. What has print? ఏం ప్రింట్ చేసింది? మీరు ఇప్పుడు అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటి? రైట్ అవుట్పుట్ ఏం చేస్తుంది డిఫాల్ట్ గా? ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేసింది అది? రైట్ అవుట్పుట్ ఏం చేసింది? ఇట్ యూస్ టు ప్రింట్ ద వాల్యూ. వెన్ యాజ్ ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇచ్చినప్పుడు డాలర్ టీఎక్స్టీ అనే రావాలి కదా. That is the thing. So that we do call it as a variable. Using the variables, you can store the values. Using the variables, you can store the values. If I say that text, it will work. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Okay. So variables are used to store the values. Okay. Okay, what is my variable? Dollar txt, right? Right. Output. What is that? Dollar txt. Why? That is the thing. The variables which you define, the completely a session variable. Session variable is nothing but based on your login and logout only it will work. Once your session is expired, all the session variables will be erased. So the dollar which you define from the dollar symbol which you use to create the variables, all are the session variables. Understand? So these are all the session variables only. I mean to say, once you log out, once your session is closed, all the variables will be erased, by defaultly deleted. Now You would like to see that what are the default variables, what are the system variables, avi eppudu erase avvo. To get any information from the PowerShell, what is the command? Let get. These are all the default variables. These are all the system variables. If erase avvo, these are all the system variables. I mean, these are all the session variables. Whenever you talk about a session variables, when your session is expired, by default it will be erased. You won't get it. In variables ఉన్నాయి. These are all the system defined variables.
మన home ని డైరెక్ట్ కాల్ చేస్తాం.
You can call it. ఓకే, సో ఇవన్నీ మనం ఎప్పుడు వర్క్ అవుతాయంటే బై స్లోలీ వన్స్ జంప్ ఇంటూ. ఇప్పుడు మనం విండోస్ పవర్ షెల్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకోం. వీళ్ళు కంప్లీట్లీ వర్క్ అని అజూర్ ఓన్లీ. ఓకే, సో టిల్ నౌ what are the commands we see? Write output to print the value. So now I want to know the process of my machine. I want to know the process of my machine. Ante what is the processes are running in the behind of my laptop. My laptop lo back end lo em process nadustunayi. So what is the CPU consumption, what is the RAM consumption, I would like to see. అలాంటప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? మాన్యువల్ గా just go to the task properties and have it. Just whereas coming to the PowerShell, you type in process. This is the process which is running. Very simple. If you go and check it, the same ఇదే ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. టాస్క్ మేనేజర్ లో ఇక్కడ టాస్క్స్ అన్ని రన్ అవుతున్నాయా? దిస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద టాస్క్. అన్ని ఇవి. So like that, the get process is used to know the all the process of your servers. So to know about your server information, what is the command? get-host to know the server information. These are all the very basic commands. ఇవి మనకు రాని డైలీ బేసిస్ లో కూడా హెల్ప్ అవ్వవు. ఓకే, so dollar symbol are used to define the variables. Now how do you declare the variable? Using the dollar symbol. How do you get the variables? get-variable. ఎందుకు రాదు? You have to tell it what is it. ఎందుకు ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది? ఎందుకు? ఇప్పుడు తీసుకుంది that is the string. That could be the reason you have to give in a single quotes. Now I want to see the variables, running variables. get-variable. ఇది ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎగ్జిట్ అయ్యి ఇలా మరీ లాగిన అనుకోండి, కుడ్ నాట్ సీ దిస్. దట్ ఇస్ ద సెషన్ వేరియబుల్. PowerShell is not at all a case sensitive. So you can use capital or you can use small letter also. But whereas coming to the data is a case sensitive. అర్థమవుతుందా? what is the data and what is the command? Commandlets are not at all a case sensitive. The only data which you do get from the system are sessions. That is called that is a session. I mean, case sensitive. As it is the alarm alarm. Okay. Then next. So to create a new variable, just you can write new hyphen variable. Now this is the, if you write this new hyphen variable, what it does? It will store, right? Because this is the permanent variable, not a session variable. When you define your dollar symbol, that is a session variable. To remove the variable, remove variable. What is the variable name? Dot and equal to server. Okay, this is how we can create and remove the variables. Okay, Richard. Remove hyphen variable. Permanent default galay ఉంటాయి. Only session variables మాత్రమే erase అయిపోతాయి after session. దాంట్లో వాల్యూ ఉంది అది తీసేసి పెట్టాను. కెనాట్ ఫైండ్ ఇట్. దట్స్ బట్ డిఫాల్ట్ గా 15 చెప్తుంది చూడు. Okay, so next coming to the data types. What are the data types? We regularly you know about some data types. What are those? Char, varchar, date, number. There is no integer replaced by the char or varchar.
No, SQL.
ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇంటిజర్ ఉన్నా కూడా varchar ఇస్తాం కదా. పర్టికులర్ గా ఓకే. నేనేమంటానంటే varchar ఇస్తే
సీరియల్ నెంబర్ అనుకోండి ఇంటిజర్.
ఓకే, టు జనరేట్ ద సీరియల్ నెంబర్. దట్ ఇస్ రైట్. సో varchar ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇట్ అలౌస్ యువర్ string and numbers both allows. So default ga when you are generating the random numbers, then only we can use the integer, else we can use the varchar or character too. So that is the data types. So whereas coming to the PowerShell data types, so it's array, supports array, boolean, byte, character, date, decimal, double and bit. These are all the data types supported by PowerShell. What is mean by the array? Boolean is nothing but again it's a kind of a it's to exactly. It says it's a true or false based on your condition which can write. Whereas coming to the array ante enti. So now what is the main difference between variable and array? Exactly, you can store multiple values as a variable. You can store multiple values as a variable. If it is in a variable, you cannot. It does not allow you to store multiple values. It only stores a single value. Whereas coming to the array used to store multiple values. Let's assume that if we are using the dollar value as a what it is value as a variable 1, right? తీసుకుంటావా అది?
It will act as an array.
Array ఇప్పుడు all the time you have to define. Array all the time you have to define at the rate. Now ఇప్పుడు మీకు చూపిస్తాను 1. ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది అది? It stores the value from 1 to 10. Now మీకు ఏమవుతుంది వెరీ సింపుల్ మీరు 1.10 ఇచ్చిన 1 2 3 కామా సెపరేట్ ఇచ్చిన ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకింగ్ యాజ్ ఎ వన్ వాల్యూ ఓన్లీ when I say the comma separated now it is a individual strings you are giving to that particular variable that is the reason it is not able to identify మీరు ఏదైనా వాల్యూని ఎలా సెపరేట్ చేస్తారు కామా కామా రైట్ స్ట్రింగ్ ని ఎలా సెపరేట్ చేస్తారు కామా వాల్యూని ఎలా సెపరేట్ చేస్తారు కామా ఇప్పుడు when you want to store multiple values కామా సెపరేట్ చేసినప్పుడు it doesn't understand it so then only you have to use array ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేస్తారు to store the multiple values array is a kind of a variable again but which do not have the capability to store multiple values getting it or not so only variable has capability to store one value single value okay to store a boolean whereas coming to the byte is nothing but an integer again it's a kind of integer then character again it's called a char or varchar type and the date and time now if you would like to print the date and time let's see it will give the date with time if you want to get seconds also date and time please go ahead there is no command like this you have to date that's it so it's not a case sensitive మీరు ఎలా కావాలంటే అలా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు okay the supported data types again decimal what is the decimals points so it supports n number of decimals there is no restriction on that అదే మీరు SQL లో అయితే ఎన్ని డెసిమల్స్ వరకు తీసుకుంటుంది okay double what do you mean by the double see when it say $50 that is a single amount $50 20 cents that is the double value 5 rupees 10 paisa that is a double value like that okay GUID ante IDs so which is hyphen separated if you want to pass any IP address as a variable if you want to pass IPv6 IP address IPv6 IP address ఎలా ఉంటుంది 16 character length with the combination of all multiple numbers and numerics and characters so in the type of that we can call the GUID IDs basically IDs pass చేస్తారు so we have created one virtual network if you want to pass it as a ID మీరు ఎలా ఎక్కడ తెలుసుకుంటారు that is what is the ID of your VNet go to the properties of your VNet there you can see that ID if you want to pass those kind of values as IDs you have to use that GUID okay these are all the data types which is supported by PowerShell there are huge okay so coming to the condition what do you mean by the condition why do we need to write these conditions
it does not understand
two statements let's assume that I want to increase my salary who is below 5,000 I want to increase my 10% of the salary who is below 5,000 I want to increase the salary 2% who is below 10,000 అర్థమవుతుందా these are all the conditions based on your condition the value should be updated. So coming to the condition types, PowerShell allows if condition, if else, if, and switch condition. ఈ పైన మూడు everyone knows that. Conditions వచ్చేటానికి ఈ 4 conditions మాత్రమే చేస్తాయి. Whereas coming to the conditions in C++ or Java, there are other conditions. They might allow n number of conditions. But whereas coming to the PowerShell, there are only 4 types of values. Thus, 4 types of conditions. If either one or either two, that's it. Any one should be true, that's it. Whereas coming to the if-else condition, if-else condition is nothing but either true or either false. Either true or either false. If lo, only true or false, that's it. Whereas coming to the if-else, either true or either false. Whereas coming to the if, else. Either true, either false, in again true or false, either in a false condition or true. And then sub-conditions right. Whereas coming to the switch case, what do you mean by the switch case? Switch case is nothing but to skip particular value. Let's assume that if you want to update 1 to 10 numbers, 1 to 10 numbers. In the switch case, if you want to understand, if you want to switch some cases, and switch and by default ga madhyalo వదిలేయడం. Let's assume that we have the 10 members, 1 to 10 members. Particularly if you want to update something for the 1, 2 and 8, 9. If you want to switch something in between, what is 3 from 7. In that case, we do use the switch conditions. అంటే particular గా కొన్నిటిని eliminate చేయడానికి, eliminate, if you want to eliminate particularly some task, we do use the switch case. Okay, what are the conditions for total? 4 conditions. If else, then switch condition. Okay, what is the loop types? Loop is nothing but to perform the same task for the n number of times. Iteration. Okay, we do have loop, for loop, while loop, do while, and for each and switch. Very simple. మనం రెగ్యులర్ గా వాడేది for each. For each is nothing but for each and every value. For each and every value. Okay. The next, break and continue. So what do you mean by the break and continue? So break and continue is nothing but particularly if you want to stop in a process, then you want to add runtime executions, and if you want to continue after the break, you can use the break and continue. Let's assume that okay, process run avutundi. If you want all of a sudden you want to stop the process, you want to execute your runtime value. If you want to add the runtime value, after adding the runtime value, again you have to continue. In these scenarios, you have to use the break and continue. Okay, then SQL procedures లో break and continue కూడా ఉంటుంది. అంటే runtime values pass చేస్తారు కదా. ఆ runtime value pass చేసినప్పుడు once your procedure is running, when you want to pass that runtime value, that time you have to use the break. A break ఏం చేస్తుందంటే it does not execute the entire process. Let's assume that we want to process 1 to 10. 5 వరకు ప్రాసెస్ అయ్యింది. Just all of a sudden you want to add any other value. మీరు 11 వాల్యూ కూడా యాడ్ చేయాలనుకున్నారు అనుకోండి. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? You have to break it. Then add the 11 value, add the runtime value. Then you want to continue from the 6 to 11. So in these scenarios, you have to use the break and continue. Okay. So these are all the commands. So here you have to properly understand that there is only 3 things: variables, data types, కండిషన్స్ అండ్ లూప్స్. ఈ 4 కాన్సెప్ట్స్ మీదనే మొత్తం ఉంటుంది. పవర్ షెల్ అంటే ఈ 4 కాన్సెప్ట్స్ లోనే ఉంటుంది. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards we will see that what is the commands we have to use, what each and every command does, what and each and every command help you in a real time scenarios. Okay, so get service, get process, ఇవన్నీ very simple గా ఉంటాయి. So while practicing it will be very easy to understand. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about PowerShell security and how can you define your security based on your users to execute your scripts which you have written. Okay, we'll see. So tomorrow kuda basics tone untundi. Ellundi day after tomorrow we'll work with Azure PowerShell. Azure PowerShell ane separate ga em undadu, but we do automate the task using the PowerShell ఫర్ అజూర్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ అంతే. అజూర్ లో ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఏమేమి తెలుసు, నెట్వర్కింగ్ అండ్ విర్చువల్ మెషిన్స్ బోత్, రైట్? సో వీ క్యాన్ మేనేజ్ దెమ్, వీ కెన్ మేనేజ్ ద నెట్వర్క్స్ అండ్ వీ కెన్ మేనేజ్ ద విర్చువల్ మెషిన్స్ యూజింగ్ ద పవర్ షెల్. అందుకోసం నేను ఏమంటుందంటే అజూర్ పవర్ షెల్ అంటాను అంతే, వెరీ సింపుల్. పవర్ షెల్ ఈజ్ నాట్ మెంట్ ఫర్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ విండోస్, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ మెంట్ ఫర్ ఓన్లీ అజూర్, ఇట్ నాట్ మెంట్ ఫర్ ఓన్లీ VMware, it works for any environment. So but we have to define how it have to utilize it. That's it. So tomorrow we will talk about PowerShell security. Once we done it, I will tell you how to modify your PowerShell which helps you to manage your Azure environment. ఇప్పుడు డిఫాల్ట్ గా నేను ఇక్కడ సో గెట్ టైఫాన్ నా మిషన్ పేరు ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, ఇట్ డజంట్ నో దట్. ఎందుకు? నా అజూర్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ కి దీనికి అసలు సంబంధమే లేదు. So from the tomorrow onwards we will see all of them, how to integrate and how to manage them. Okay, any questions so far?
Multiple VMs ఉంటే Azure PowerShell చేసి కోడ్ రాసి క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం.
So for the deployment purpose, see, you can create 10 virtual machines using the PowerShell. You can create 10 virtual machines using the JSON. You can create 10 virtual machines using the Terraform. That is a different thing. అంటే మనం ఏ ఆటోమేషన్ దేనికి వాడుతున్నామో we have to understand. నేనేమంటున్నా పర్టికులర్ గా పవర్ షెల్ ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎందుకు వాడుతున్నాను, నేను ఒకటే స్టేట్మెంట్ చెప్పా, ఏంటి? పవర్ షెల్ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ డైలీ, పవర్ షెల్ విల్ మేక్ ఈజీ వర్క్ ఫర్ ద అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్స్. అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ టాస్క్ ఏంటి? క్రియేటింగ్ ద VM is not an administration task, not at all. అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ టాస్క్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? మేనేజింగ్ యువర్ విర్చువల్ మెషిన్స్, మేనేజింగ్ యువర్ బ్యాకప్స్, మేనేజింగ్ యువర్ ఎంటైర్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. దట్ ఈస్ అ డైలీ టాస్క్. ఐ మీన్ టు సే అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ టాస్క్. క్రియేటింగ్ ద VM, క్రియేటింగ్ ద VNet ఈస్ నాట్ అట్ ఆల్ ఏ టాస్క్, వన్ టైం టాస్క్ అంతే. మీరు డైలీ VM చేయరు, ఎప్పుడు చేయరు. మీరు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కూడా క్రియేటింగ్ ద VMs అని చెప్పకండి ఎప్పుడు. క్రియేటింగ్ ద నెట్వర్క్ VNet పాయింట్ టు సెట్ అని అస్సలు చెప్పొద్దండి, ఎందుకంటే అవి డైలీ చేసే టాస్క్ కాదు. వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ గెట్ ఏ న్యూ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అప్పుడు మాత్రమే చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద డేస్ వాట్ యూ విల్ బి యాజ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ టు మేనేజ్ ద ఎంటైర్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. అవి ఏంటి అనేది మీకు లేటర్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ స్లోగా అర్థమవుతుంది వన్స్ యూ జంప్ ఇన్ టు దట్. ఓకే, అంటే మీ క్వశ్చన్ అయితే రైట్, మీరు చేయొచ్చు. 10 విర్చువల్ మెషిన్స్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి క్రియేట్ చేయండి, దెర్ ఇస్ నో హార్మ్ ఆన్ ఇట్. But PowerShell is not meant for it. Okay, PowerShell is only used for to automate your daily tasks. Okay, any other questions? Okay, see you tomorrow same time.